Hey, welcome back everyone. My name is Joe, and over the last year I've documented my journey of writing a first novel. In fact, a trilogy of novels called Rivendoah. I live with my husband Richard and our granddaughter Hannah on 6 acres of land nestled in the wilds of Virginia. Every Monday I post a video sharing the joys and challenges of writing a first novel. In this week's video, I'm on the road again to a special place in Rivendoah, Wings of Shadow. So, come along and join me on my adventures in living as a writer and an artist. Hey everybody, welcome back to my author's channel here on YouTube. As you can see, we're off on another road trip to one of the locations from the book that I'm writing, Rivendoah, Wings of Shadow. This location I think will be featured in all 3 novels of my trilogy, but primarily in the first novel. As I've done in other videos, I'm heading down to downtown Richmond, where the Churchill Tunnel is located. And that's where we're going to be exploring today, the Churchill Tunnel. We're specifically going to be going to the eastern end of the tunnel, which is still open, and I'll be able to take you a little ways inside if it's not filled with water. We'll have to see. And then we may touch base with the western end if I have time today to get down there. Now, before I get there, I thought I would take a moment to share with you guys a little bit about the Churchill Tunnel and give you some context for what it is and what the location is and why I may be featuring it in the book. So anyway, before we get there, let me give you a little history of the Churchill Tunnel. So, where is this place I'm going to today? The Churchill Tunnel. Under Churchill lay one of the lost and most tragic legends in Richmond's history. If you've never heard this story, you are in for something special, because beneath the historic hill is a train, engine 231, and it's been there for nearly 100 years. And at least 2 railmen working that day lay buried with the train. The Churchill Tunnel was built in the early 1870s by the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. There were problems with the construction from the very beginning. Unlike most train tunnels, which are carved through solid bedrock, the Churchill Tunnel cut through blue marl clay, which is known as shrink-swell soil that expands and contracts as it absorbs rainfall and water. The C&O construction crew experienced deadly cave-ins throughout its construction, resulting in the death of between 10 and 20 men, along with many terrible injuries. However, upon its completion, the C&O considered the tunnel a great success, and it was in heavy use in the first 20 years after construction, despite the problems with flooding and minor cave-ins. However, the problems with the tunnel increased over time, and it was retired in the late 1890s when a safer alternative was created. For 20 years, the Churchill Tunnel fell into disuse. Its abandoned state led to rumors of fear, and ever after was referred to by locals as the Tunnel of Death. In 1925, the C&O Railroad made the fateful decision to rehabilitate the tunnel and put it back into use. Tragically, on October 2, 1925, after a heavy night of rainfall, the tunnel collapsed, killing 4 men, 2 of which remain buried under the rubble to this day. This terrible event in Richmond's history spawned many a folk tale about the event. The most famous is the legend of the Richmond vampire, which you can find more about by clicking on the link in the upper right corner of this screen. The eastern end of the tunnel lay hidden in a vacant ravine, overgrown and strewn with junk tossed down into the abandoned lot. The tunnel, filled with water, leaks out over the eastern end, forming a creek of green algae and muck that runs down through the vacant lot. It is here that the story of Rivendoah begins, and where I'll be taking you on today's adventure through abandoned Virginia. Okay, I'm down here in downtown Richmond, and I'm getting ready to shoot down to where the tunnel is. It's going to take me a few more minutes to get down there, and I guess I better concentrate on my driving so I don't get into a wreck. But anyway, see you guys down at the Churchill Tunnel. Currently passing through an area called Shockoe Slip, which is an area that's very close to Shockoe Bottom, and we'll soon reach an area called Churchill. So anyway, we're getting there. Okay, I've just parked here and I'm getting ready to get out and journey down into the sort of dark ravine of the area right beside the tunnel, which is sort of a area off the beaten path here, and I'll take you along with me. See that right there? Poison ivy. Luckily, I am not allergic. It's everywhere. Kind of spooky out here. Love this space though. Sort of love that echo. Well, here we are at the tunnel, and you can actually hear my voice echoing. Can you hear that? But it is quite dramatic looking. To think that this is sort of here in the city where no one really realizes it's here in the middle of this kind of vacant ravine. It's quite dramatic. It's beautiful stonework. Amazing. It's actually much deeper than I thought it was. Can you hear the echo? That's very bizarre. Kind of feels like a magical place down here. But it's also kind of skanky, kind of stinks. Standing water, very dark. Which is kind of what I was looking for as a scene in my book. Well, considering all the water in here, I don't think I'm going to be going any further in than I am right now. I'm sort of on a little island of rock and mud here. Looks like somebody had a boat, but I swear, I feel like I hear something back in there, which you know, knowing how it echoes in here is something I can bring into the story. The kind of strange, odd way it sounds, the dripping of the water, all that I want to kind of incorporate into the sections that I have written. I've already written part of this, but I think I'm going to have to go back and do a little bit more writing so I can catch this. You know, it's quite a climb down into this little ravine. I'll sort of show you what it looks like when I get out the other side. Ooh, I swear I hear something in there. Okay guys, I am gonna go ahead and head out. I think this gives you a good idea of what this place looks like. So you can sort of see how it's gonna be featured in my book. Love to hear the sounds and see the birds and other creatures out here in the woods. I've seen some squirrels, probably a possum or two out here, and probably a good chance of some snakes, but haven't seen any of those, thank goodness. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I think this sort of gives you guys a good idea of what the eastern entrance to the Churchill Tunnel looks like, and I'll explain a little bit later, I think, how I'm going to feature it in the book without giving too much away. So anyway, let's go and see if we can see the the western end of the tunnel, and we'll take a peek at what that looks like. Well, I was trying to get a good look at the tunnel, but it is hard to see. You can see it right here behind me, but there is a fence around it, and I think it must be on private land. because I can't really get to it, can't walk over to it. I'd like to put my hands on it, but can't. So I'm going to shoot some video through the fence, and then I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures of what it used to look like before it was cleaned up and renovated around here. That's kind of how I'm going to use it featured in the story. So this is the western entrance to the Churchill Tunnel. Everybody, hope you guys enjoyed this video excursion and road trip today down to see the Churchill Tunnel, which is definitely a very spooky kind of area. I'm going to go ahead and wind it up for today. In next week's video, I'll be out in the woods again, cooking up something by the fire, and we'll talk a little bit about writing and my progress with the first novel, Rivendoah, which I would like to be more than it is. But anyway, I just want to go ahead and wind it up for today. And as always, if you like the content of this video, give me the old thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you guys in the next video. We'll be back out at the woods and talking Rivendoah. Bumpy. It's bumpy.